Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is Jimmy or James or Jimbo, whatever, with Monotalk. And look, this isn't a big time professional show. I'm just a guy, in my room throwing out stuff, and hopefully it'll stick. That's all. If it sticks to the wall, I'm cool. Anyway, my show's always been about saving the planet and all of its inhabitants. And if you have the right people, or people that actually give a shit or care, in positions or that make a difference, then I think we have a future for not just ourselves, but our kids and therefore thereafter. And that's the reason why I do the show. So I'm looking at um, a few things. One thing I know that I'm watching very closely is definitely this impeachment crap that's still happening. And then Rachel Madcow, I'd like to say, is continuing. She's correlating or trying to link it with RussiaGate, which is ridiculously stupid and pathetic. And I just think it's really sad how she keeps digging this giant crater for herself, and it's just pathetic. Her and Stephanie Miller and what the hell is that other girl? Randy Rhodes. And just a lot of people out there that I don't know if they're getting paid to be idiots, but you know what? If they're getting paid that much to act that stupid or to take actions in that manner, then maybe they just want to drive that fucking Maserati and have that apartment in the sky. Anyway, those kind of people just need to fucking go. They're just worthless to our society. They're worthless to our species, and they're just worthless in general. Montauk, basically, for me, honestly, it's just the core of everything. It's like deep core, kind of what's really going on. Um, I'd like to basically talk about what I believe is kind of it's more of my perspective. But like I said, there's this story, that story, and perceived truth, because you don't really know exactly what happened unless you were absolutely there, seeing every freaking thing and hearing everything, and smelling and all of your senses. So right now, this impeachment thing is, yeah, it's just ridiculous and pathetic. Uh, they're going to stay on it. It's going to keep happening. In my title of this show is basically who does the media, or who is the media going to pronounce the winner, or who are they going to set up to be the winner? And I've done this in the past. I've shown you guys the reason why Trump is where he's at. It's because um, the Clinton Mafia, which I call now because that it's perfect for them, created a memo with John Podesta. They call it the Podesta files, or the emails that were taken by Seth Rich, who for some reason died in a botched burglary. But his laptop was confiscated by the police and not turned over to his family. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, Facebook is taking forever. I would show you what I'm talking about. But I think you can look it up. The Podesta files, WikiLeaks, email. There was Ted Cruz, uh, Ben Carlson, and Donald Trump, who were the Pied Pipers, the people that Clintons and their marketing gurus felt were the people. This is several months before, even Donald even made his announcement. Donald, I just called him Donald. Into the race, but they knew eventually. They knew who was going to come in. I think they had a pretty good idea. I mean, look, these people run in big groups, big members. It's a very, very small club of people, but they're big. In other words, they've got a lot of fucking clout. They've got a lot of pull. They've got fucking tons of money, and they all talk about each other, and they all, praise each other, and they all, no matter what, they're the elite. And when you become the elite, you act like Ellen DeGeneres, where you hang out with a fucking disgusting pig, um, like George W. Bush. Which honestly, Ellen, if you ever watch this, which you never will, and hopefully somebody can tell her, it's not about being kind, it's about being real. At that point, if everybody was real to everybody else about what's really happening in the world, no, you wouldn't have a lot of friends. You probably wouldn't be popular, but you know what? You'd have my respect and you'd have a little dignity as well. Because when you hang out with a piece of shit like that, and that goes for a lot of politicians that are out there, they're fucking just disgusting, greedy fucking bastards. And it's getting overwhelming, honestly. Why is Steam fucking trying to open? Oh, no wonder. Oh my god. Anyway, I suck at my PC. But anyway, Ellen's, just part of the system, hanging around with the elite, and you might get there one day. You might be one of those people. Um, there's some other things that are happening out there that are just also very terrible, heinous, and ridiculous. The one thing that I truly believe is terrible is I think it's more of what I've done and what others are doing to Tulsi. And look, I dig Tulsi Gabbard. She is awesome. But there's something about her that I've gathered that I'm really concerned about. One, it's her M4A or Medicare for All plan and how she wants to roll it out, which she hasn't specifically given the exact details yet. Bernie has. Bernie wants to cut the umbilical cord of the private insurance industry, which has killed about 45,000 people a month for the past fucking how many decades now? And I mean, and they've charged and taken and beaten and battered money out of how many fucking Americans on our taxpayer dollars? How much more money do we need, Tulsi, and all you that want to keep giving money to private insurance? How much more? It's a third party, for God fucking sakes. You guys don't get it. The money from our taxpayer dollars, okay, and our earned dollars should go directly to the doctors. Dr. Oz was trying to say that on Fox, and they cut him off just yesterday, this morning, or yesterday, or something. I mean, it's really simple. Big insurance is nothing but a third and fourth and fifth party. They're a middleman that doesn't need to be there. When you go buy a car, okay, from somebody that's selling a car privately, it's you're the second party. There's two parties, right? But when you go to a dealership, there's a third party. Then the amount gets higher, right? The price gets higher. If you were to buy vehicles directly from the dealership at cost of what the dealership pays for these cars, of course they buy them in bulk. They get a better price. But it takes a certain amount of money to buy the car. It takes a certain amount of money for advertising, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I get that, and I get that. But if you were to buy it with just a little meat on it, on the bones that they usually sell it for, out of the factory, right? You guys understand what I'm getting to? Is it would be fucking cheaper for everybody, right? Hey, send me a car from the factory. Fuck the middleman. Hey, get me Medicare for all. I want full, comprehensive, universal health care, okay, with no copay, with my tax dollars being pitched in with other people's tax dollars and my earned income, if needed, to go directly to the doctor, right? Directly to uh, the people that supply, that manufacture the products, not a middleman or a third middleman who raises the prices. There's the system of barter, the system of sales and negotiating. The way, and I'm getting to the core because I always fucking do, is when you buy something at the market, there's a middleman. It's a store. But imagine if you got that orange or those avocados or that steak directly from the meat market, not the market, but I think you understand what I'm getting to. That's the system that Bernie's trying to develop. If you want to keep the third party of big insurance in the the loophole, the realm of being able to keep their fucking greedy ass, disgusting raptor feet, I shouldn't talk, in the equation is ridiculous. Haven't they taken enough lives? Haven't they taken enough money? They've made trillions of dollars over these past few decades. And you want to keep them in the loop. There's no need for it. I say if you can wean them out, then you may have my vote. But Bernie wants to cut that umbilical cord, boom. It's just ridiculous. And he knows it. It's time. And there's a lot of people out there that understand what I'm saying and do not want to continue to feed this sleething monster. But Tulsi, if you want to keep doing it, that's up to you. But the question is what is your motivation for giving them that edge, for giving them that disgusting raptor toenail in the door? Are you seeing something in the future that could benefit you? I know Obama did. That's why he kept all the big players in the fucking Obama Act. The Obamacare, excuse me. I meant to say Medicare for all. Not, excuse me, Obamacare, the ACA. It'll come to me when I get the full fucking name of it. Evan Kim, Hillary Clinton 2020. Oh my God, Evan. Dude, I've been watching your shows. They are pretty entertaining. By the way, the world is round. It is a round sphere. Okay? I know you know that. Okay? You have to believe that's the case. And one day, hopefully, I'll have enough money where I can take you up in a rocket and show you that. But don't need to be distracted by that. I just will let you know I'm paying attention. We do have another thing that's happening right now that I think is not good. Is we have a polling system where we believe now. Don't forget, Tulsi. Please pull your pull your purse or your handbag away from the freaking uh, big insurance companies or those third parties. I'm just feeling like maybe she kind of sees that pot of gold down the road, like most of our uh, hoard out legislators and judiciaries and executives have become, to these lobbyists and these lobbying groups that find a way to get to you. That find a way to get to you. But there's also our polling system, which I wish everybody would just consider is probably bullshit. It's almost, hey Snort. Yeah, she said she might come in if need be, but if she comes in, she's just going to ruin it for anybody. Whoever she stands next to will lose. Will lose, and you know that. So I'll get to that in a second. But in regards to the polling systems that are out there, and how Tulsi had a hard time getting in the recent debate that she wasn't allowed into, but is able to get into the next one, which is great. It's bullshit. There's no fucking way there are people out there that truly believe that Biden and all of his continuous uh, muffling and bumbling, and he for some reason he can never finish a fucking sentence at all. And it's just amazing that people, with what I've heard about his kind of suppressed or internal racism that I think is inside of him, but he doesn't realize it because when he's telling the blacks that you need to be told how to raise your fucking children because of the white people, because all the white people definitely know how to raise their children. That's right. White people definitely know how to raise their children. That's why you get fucking Ted Bundy and the whole fucking all kinds of shit. Trump wants her to. Oh yeah, he does. Oh yeah, he does. Trump wants her to run for sure, for sure. But the polling system that I'm seeing is just got to be. There's no way that fucking Joe Biden is still fucking polling higher in all these demographics. And the problem is they don't tell you what the demographic is. They don't really give you uh, too much information on how they gathered their information. And I really don't believe the information is accurate. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think there's some fucking rigging. I think there is some rigging. And no matter what, there's going to be. And no matter what, the media is going to spin it the way they want to fucking spin it. I mean, who will, who will, God, who will they pick as a winner? That's wrong. Who will MSM pick as the winner in 2020? That's what I wanted to put. God damn it, my dyslexia. Okay. Oh yeah, they're gonna blame Russia for everything. Mainstream media. I mean, it's just really sad. The rigging is strong here in Iowa, right, Snore? Anyway, thank you guys for coming on. By the way, so if I were to kind of just lay it out there and say, I hear this from Deb Della Piana, um, and she says it a lot, and I get her anger, right? If you've ever listened to her, it's not worth it. Don't fucking vote. It's all bullshit. They're just gonna rig it. It doesn't matter, And then I hear Tulsi just earlier saying, it counts. We have to. This is, and I've actually, it counts in some way. It does count somewhere, right? Is what she's saying. And then Deb Delapiana, of course, is saying it doesn't, and you shouldn't, which I get. I get the anger, and I get the frustration. But we have only that. We don't have any other way. We really do not have any other way. The Patriot Act, along with the NDAA, we can't fucking gather in the masses, because if we're proclaimed or seen as a terrorist threat or a threat period to our nation, and that can be voted or agreed upon in seconds against the two-party oligarchy, that we're a threat, and they'll stop us from a giant revolt, a giant revolution across um, the lawns of Congress, or the halls of Congress for that matter, and they'll come after us. I really think it's getting to that point where I don't think we have the freedom, and we don't have the rights that no, we don't. I don't think we have the freedoms and the rights that we used to have. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead. I'm not stretching by any means. We have Julian Assange, a man that basically just brought factual data that was taken by people that said, hey, this seems wrong. I think I want to report it, but I don't know how to send it out, because I don't want it to be spinned or or manipulated in any way. I want it to be straight, you know, out of the gate the way it came into the gate. So that's why people go with Wikipedia, because it's basically just data, and you read it for yourself. It's not biased information. It's not like the impeachment whistle fucking blowers, right? That are people supposedly listening CIA. When did the CIA become whistleblowers, by the way? Who these two, now there's two, they are gathering information on what they believe was the conversation. Again, it's all about perception, or it's biased. See, that's the things you don't realize. But when you have somebody like Seth Rich, who grabbed the Podesta files, right? And we all realize that the Clinton Mafia, along with the DNC and the rest of the fuckheads, put Ben Carlson and Ted Cruz and Donald Trump on a piece of paper that's clearly indicated in this email that they wanted to select one out of those three to run against Hillary, because they felt that they could win against that person. They selected Trump, and they selected Trump to give him more media time, to give him the spotlight. because they believe that in the general that Hillary would beat the crap out of him, but she didn't. And she couldn't because nobody fucking trusted her. Too many fucking body bags for one, right? And yeah, I know, follow the Clinton body bags, but here it is. It's those people are just insanely corrupt. How is Bill Clinton not implicated in Jeffrey Epstein in some way when that guy used to factually spend a ridiculous amount of time with him? How is Bill Clinton not fucking more? Well, that whole thing, honestly, after he died, so he couldn't actually whistle blow, so he couldn't fucking, um, you know, spill the fucking beans on everybody. Trump was in there, Clintons were in there. I mean, you name it. Epstein had fucking every sick, wacko, disgusting pig on those fucking islands doing. I can't even think of it. But it happened. And we may not ever know. There's a few things that have come up with that, but this is my biggest point of all is we have our vote. And I'm hoping we have our vote because if Biden or Warren, and sorry, Yang, they're just using you as a distraction, bro. They're they're pumping you up and they're going to keep you out there to pull certain voters, and you're going to get a lot of money, and you're going to send it to this DNC. We know it, and we know it, but they're just using you, bro. You're not for real. I'm sorry, you're just not for real. There's no fucking way in hell that the Democratic Party is going to allow you to run for president. That's not going to happen. Unless you abide by what they do and become a Nancy Pelosi or a Feinstein or a Chuck Schumer or Chucky the Shoe, which you probably will if the money's good. Because I know you. I see it in your spirit. I see it in the way you speak and talk. You're an opportunist. I don't know if you're really doing this for us or the 99%. As a matter of fact, at one point, you were actually, and I think I got it here, not to totally pick on Andrew Yang, because I don't know if he's got the best intentions that people think he does, right? I don't think he has the best intentions that people think he does, because I'm beginning to think that he's, just he's kind of like the sidetracking Ted Cruz / Ben Carlson / Donald Trump in those days where they needed somebody they could just pull certain voters or a certain demographic away from people like Tulsi, from people like Bernie. That could be the case. You guys gotta remember these marketing gurus that are paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. How much do you make, by the way? Nothing. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. They come from very prominent schools with a lot of fucking money and the best training to market, advertise, brand, uh, uh, public image, um, publicity galore, in your face, all over you, around you, so that you will do what they fucking tell you. So that they will, say, well, this is who we think is going to win 2020. And you will start to believe it. So, anyway, my biggest point is I really don't think that we truly know if our votes are going to count. And that's all we have right now. That's all we have. We have to believe in a person that won't bullshit us like Obama did. We have to believe in a person that won't say one thing and fucking do completely the other like Obama did, right? Because if you've got private health care or you've got health care through your employer, or if you're trying to get your fucking teeth fixed through Obamacare, good fucking luck, because it's not going to happen. That was just the biggest fucking Ponzi scheme I've ever fucking heard of. And he had the House, the Senate, and the Oval fucking Office. But they fucking swept Dennis Kucinich under the fucking rug. Under the rug. I mean, we all know it. I mean, whoever watches this has heard me say it a few times, right? But, here's one. Joe Biden criticized for comments calling poor children just as talented as white kids. Fucking dingbat. Oh, where's this picture from Yang? It's coming up, guys. Hold on. It's just real simple. Oh, what's this one? Oh, I got not in an argument, but I'm getting to the picture, but I'll talk about something. I got in a little argument with a guy. His name is Kilroy. Kilroy Smith, I think his name. And he's a Trump guy, and he watches PragerU, and he doesn't believe in climate change, which, hey, you know, I pretty much extinguished that with the information I gave him, and he never responded, by the way. Just a second. Here comes bullshit fucking MSM scaring the masses not to vote. Okay, got that. Where the fuck did I put it? It's right down here, and I'm sorry. But anyway, it's really amazing that there are people out there that do not believe that human beings have not affected the world and its climate. That's just completely amazing to me to believe, to know that there's actual people like this. Oh my God, I got to show you this. Okay, you got to see this. I put this out just the other day. It's fucking great. Watch this. Right? Watch. Right? Right? Morgan Freeman is Jimi Hendrix. Right? Okay, I'm fucking. That's stupid. Sorry. Okay. No, he's. What the fuck did he freaking say? God damn it. You gotta see my Facebook. It's so stupid. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I'm getting close. Oh, I'm getting close. Closer. Closer. There it is right there. All right. All right, ready? Let's read this together, everyone. Here we go. Or all my 3 or 4 people. I understand the spirit and appeal of wealth tax. It makes sense that those who enjoy vast fortunes should pay back into the system, particularly given the concentrations of wealth in our winner-take-all economy. But the implementation, okay, I got to hear the rest of this. The implementation would be impractical and problematic. So he doesn't want to tax the wealthy because guess why? Guess fucking why? Huh? You guys want to know why? You want to know why? Because he's an elitist. He's right there. He's been in this fucking loop for a while. You know, more power to you if you want to be. I mean, I've tried. Maybe I just don't have that thing that people have, or maybe I thought surfing the next day was more important, or going skiing the next day was more important, or playing basketball with my buddies was more important, or spending time with my daughter and my kids were more important than doing other things. You know, I know, and I know there's ways of making the bazillion dollars out there, and more power to you if you are. More power to you if your family helped pay for you to go to a great school, good college, and you did it, and you've got a master's or doctorate degree, or doctorate or whatever, or just a degree in general, and you're doing great, and maybe you're making that money. More power to you, and I'm glad that you're successful. But when you become successful, just like some people, look, I've always said this. There are A, B, C, D, F, and D people out there. Okay? I'm like a C minus, B, C plus, B minus guy. I'm not, I think I've been an alpha kind of person every once in a while. If need be, alpha, right? But I don't think everybody's got that. And I don't think everybody needs that. I mean, if everybody was a fucking alpha, we'd all be dead, right? We'd all fucking just be dead. Everybody should fucking kill each other. There's a time and a place, I believe, for a lot of things. But when it comes to being very wealthy and successful, give back a little bit, maybe a lot, maybe be more appreciative of what's out there and what you've been given, and maybe being in the right place at the right time in that perfect moment to receive what you've received. God bless you. God bless you. You know, give thanks, bro. Especially to a planet that has been so giving to you. You know, give back to everybody. Do what you can to give. And even if you don't have, there are people that give a lot. Um, I don't think I'm one of them. I might give to this or that. But I'm not big on philanthropy, by the way, because I truly believe that that's just an easy way out and a fucking tax writer for most people. If you vote and support the right people in public servant positions that are important, that change the world and change the planet and change our nation, etc. If you vote for the right people that actually give a shit, I don't think you'll need to do any philanthropy because everybody will have a living minimum wage of $15 to $17 an hour. I believe that everybody will have full, comprehensive, universal health care with no copay. And the fucking big insurance companies are gone. And I do believe if you care um, and you vote the right way instead of donating to some little thing at the market, get a little card or something. And Jimmy voted for, gave $1 to something society, okay? But you could, probably stop the wars, keep people alive, slowly remove ourselves from this giant, tentacled, tyrannical, fucking military industrial complex led war machine that people like Rachel Maddow keep fucking throwing their pom poms out for. And I mean the list goes on the things that we could do with just our vote. Okay, just our vote, I think, uh, is super important. And like I said, that's all we have, guys, is our vote. Now, speaking of votes, and hopefully I'm not too far off track of the point I was getting to, but anybody's welcome to remind me. Uh, the Green Party, which I am still a part of, but not in California. I actually resigned because I'm not out in West Virginia now, with my lovely wife Stevie, and we are going to try to boost the Green Party out here, or the Mountain Party, which is the Green Party in a sense out here. But all over the country, we're trying to find out, who's running for House of Representatives, which I think is a doable position. Governor, good fucking luck. Mayor all day long. There's a bunch of Greens doing that. But as I've always said, we do need more people. So last year, um, or last election cycle in 2016, I think there was 58 or 48 or about 50 uh, Greens that were running for uh, some type of federal position, whether it was senator, state or governor, or they were going for a House Representative position. But there was a big showing. But this year, they're late to the party again. There's not very many of them. I do hope that Kenneth Mejia runs again. I am fucking going to do whatever I can, and I've already sent some good information out to Rodolfo Baragas Cortez, Rodolfo Cortez, um, um, Chuck Manchin for sure. I want him to keep going because I think he'll peak out of there at one point. Laura Wells is also going to go for it, I think, again, which I hope she does. But there's something I wanted to show, excuse me, for some people in regards to what the Green Party needs to start doing, which hopefully they will. I'm hoping that they'll take my advice to heart, as I think it's important that they stay within these issues that most of the United States is for sure trying to get or be a part of. Excuse me, not get. I would say they're trying to implement, and we've been trying to do it for for decades, ever since the Poor People's March. We've and that's over 50 years ago with MLK, Martin Luther King. We have still not gotten the things they've been asking: a living minimum wage, a living wage, health care for all, those two things. Stop the fucking regime change wars. Free college or education. I mean, all these things have been begged for and asked for. And the Green Party keeps talking about ecological wisdom, and nobody knows what the fuck that is. Nobody. And I don't want to have to explain it to them. So I'm saying try this of what they need to say. I'm saying, hey, Green Party candidate, what everybody already wants, why don't you give them it, right? Like, remove money from politics. How about full comprehensive universal health care with no copay? How about a livable pay rate, like 15 or maybe go $17 an hour, right? Because 15 is bullshit, and they were going to settle at 12 anyway with 15. A right to free education and pay past debt, right? For tuition and all that. A right to peace, man. We're talking mending and rebuilding relations with victimized nations and starve the military industrial complex. How about talking about stuff like that, Green Party, instead of social, economic, vegetarian, whatever stuff that you keep talking about that nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows. How about this? The right to free speech. Of course, dissect the Patriot Act and the NDAA to protect citizens' rights as it used to be, right? The right to free energy. And this goes in the Green New Deal for sure. The right to solar, wind, current, tidal, and be free of the grid like your electric company or your gas company, right? How about the right of all LGBTQs, marriage equality for all, anti-discrimination laws to protect all LGBTQIA, I don't know what that means, in all 50 states to protect them all. Okay, of course. In all 50 states. Boom. And of course, something that probably should have happened a long time ago, make marijuana 100% legal, right? A fair representation and justice. No more private prisons. And a list goes on and on. I mean, let's talk about what's that one? Stand Your Ground, which is a terrible, 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 terrible fucking law that was passed in several countries. And you guys remember the kid with the hoodie, and what was it? Ivan? God, I don't remember. Somebody will give it to me. What was his name? Max. What was his name? Ian Maxwell. Can't believe I can't remember. I know the fucking asshole that shot him was Jimenez, right? Jimenez was his name, and he shot that kid just for fucking being out. Point I'm trying to make, again, the point. We have one shot, Green Party, and if you guys are going to keep putting all your time and all of your fucking energy and all your fucking money into superintendent, right? Or janitorial supervisor or third district city planner, right? Or teacher, faculty, whatever, useless fucking shit, and put somebody in the House of Representatives. For fuck's sakes, get my point. Put your effort where it needs to be. Trayvon Martin, thank you, Lithium 19. Sorry. God, Jesus. Exactly. And that happened continuously. And just recently, an off-duty cop who was a woman was finally sentenced and found guilty of killing somebody. And then she fucking hugs. Oh, God, whatever. Anyway, that was just weird. That was just fucking weird. She fucking hugged, I think it was the brother or the father or whoever that was. How could you touch that woman? It wasn't an accident. There's no proof. It's not saying it was an accident because she's found guilty as a malicious act. Sometimes you just got to draw the line. Ellen DeGeneres. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what, George, I just don't want to hang out with you because you're a piece of shit. And then you want to go, and then what you should do, Ellen, is just tell the world that, you know what, George Bush wanted to hang out with me, but I said, you know what, George, I told George, I said, you're a fucking piece of shit, and I'm not going to hang out with you. This facade or this halo everybody puts over their heads, like they're there for the common good and all things bright and beautiful. No, it's not like that. It's not like that for me. It's not like that for you. It's not like that when you walk out the door after you've watched a movie or your favorite sitcom, cartoon, fucking Marvel Universe, whatever you're fucking watching. By the way, props to Lost in Space coming back, season 2. I'll be watching it. I like that show. There's real life shit out there. People are sick. People are ill. Up here, around here, everywhere. We don't have healthcare. We don't have a living wage. There's so many people all over this country that are struggling. I think it's like 68% of the working public in the United States is unfundable. They can't. They can't. They don't have credit because they don't have enough money because of medical bills, right? Tulsi, medical bills. Remember medical bills, collections, people losing all their money, right? Private industry, private insurance. Okay, there you go. I mean, how much more do we need to fucking take from these people? I'm telling you, if Biden is elected or Trump gets another fucking 4 years, I'm really gonna. I'm not pushing for a revolution, but it's almost like they want it to happen. I mean to say the deep state, or you know, it's a big group and you're not in it. It's a big club. Like George Carlin used to say, it's a big club and you're not in it. If you want to get in it, go get in it. But those are the people that are all about themselves, right? And they're not about anything else. I do this to make sure that my daughter and my sons and my daughters and my sons and my daughters and my sons have a future. I do this to make sure that your daughters, your sons, the planet, the snails, the mosquitoes, the insects, the snakes, the tigers, the lions, even to the butterflies and the elk and the beautiful doe that roam around here, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, have a fucking planet, a place where they can swim and their skin won't rot off or melt away. I mean, I live next to Canal River, and there's not one person in their right mind would dive into that water. It is so fucking heinously bad. Terribly bad. You don't see water skiers anywhere around this river. Ever. You don't see jet skis. You might see a boat, but people are not bringing up fish and eating it from this river. And there's hundreds of rivers and streams like that everywhere now. It's getting bad. You've got to understand that we've got to go after and support, not go after, go to and support the people that actually give a shit. And who are those people? It's hard to tell. It's really hard. I know it's hard to tell. But I've seen what Bernie's done in the past, and I gave that motherfucker blisters on my feet. I gave him fucking money like that I didn't even have, because I walked around and I passed out his flyers and I was just all in. And then I think it was July 25th or something like that, 2016. He had the ability to challenge He had the right to challenge. And he folded and bent over and fucking just disappeared. And the mainstream media didn't show it all. They didn't see how pissed off we were. It's almost like it was purposely done. And we're trying to figure out if this is purposely done. Because I don't fucking trust them. You cannot trust the main. I swear to you, you cannot trust mainstream media, Fox, MSNBC, CNN, PBS. Even Democracy Now! Gets it wrong a lot. By the way, PBS is owned by the Koch brothers. National Geographic is owned by the Koch brothers. Okay? George Soros. I mean, the corruption and the direction that we're told to go, it's overwhelming. It's just crazy. If you knew what I knew, and if you've seen what I've seen, right? What was the character in Blade Runner? Huger, where he said that he was sitting as he was dying. If you knew what I knew, if you've seen what I've seen, and a lot of people won't. I was talking to somebody about Building 6 and that the fire commissioner has finally gotten able to obtain a full unbiased report or investigation on Building 6. And the information they've gotten so far is it was completely due to demolition. But nobody's fucking talking about that. Now, was it Berkeley? I think it was Berkeley that did the study. And it was just, and they worked on this study, and all and the faculty and engineers, and physicists, and they checked for over 3 years, put this report together, and said there's no way that a fire, could have taken this down. There's no building on the planet higher than 10 stories that is toppled down from a fire because of the steel structures that are in them. Everything else could burn. Everything else could melt away. Right? And that's what they said, that a piece of the engine that was on fire fell on Building 6. I was freaking this guy out. Oh, you're one of those conspirators. I go look it up. Building 6. And I said the BBC was broadcasting live 25 minutes or 30 minutes before the building went down. And in the background of the reporter was Building 6 still standing. And the reporter was saying that it was gone and that it had already went down. Because it was supposed to go down during the time. I think that Flight 93 or whatever one that landed in Pennsylvania or something was supposed to hit Building 6. I've got a lot of theories on that, but I do know the fucking planet is a sphere, Eben, and it is somewhat round. Is it obtuse sphere? Sphere, whatever. Anyway, it's fucking round. Yeah, it's Appalachia's just gone, Gordon. How you doing, buddy? Max, good to see you. Is this thing still going? Okay. Thank you all for coming on, by the way. I know I don't have a lot of viewers. If you guys can, share me with people. Share me with people. I'm going to go here pretty soon. I wanted to do a show yesterday. I was off yesterday, but today I got off early. We had it's like a third of a day off. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I'll explain sometime. Do our votes count, and who will MSN pick as a winner in 2020? I mean, come on. Who will they pick? You know what I'm saying? Who are they going to pick and choose that the masses that are brainwashed will pick? I am hoping it's going to be Bernie and Tulsi in the end. I am really hoping. And I know Gardens, you said she's not going to win. But if she starts doing what I think she's starting to do, which she's saying all the right things. I think her grassroots movement, and she's kind of following what Bernie did, but it's building. The only thing that's hurting her is keeping the private insurance industry still in the loop, which is bad. I mean, what else is there out there, guys? I mean, for God's sakes, Andrew Yang is just an opportunist. Okay, GM or General Motors. Uh, the CEO, this fucking chick, makes 22 million, but she closes 5 plants and puts 15,000 people out of work. And then when they protest, GM takes their fucking insurance away because that's the private industry, Tulsi, that can still do that, and you're okay with that. You need to get that, unless you want a little bit of that money. And then who else have we got here? AOC is still a whack job. They're whistleblowers. the definition of a whistleblower, for fuck's sakes. House passes alongside 15 minimum wage, but everybody knew it wasn't going to work because the Senate is owned by the fucking Republicans. And the Dumbo cants will continue to do what they do. Throw ploys and crap out at you. Right? And then somebody wrote in an article, WSWS.org, American media shuts down the Epstein story. They just fucking shooed that away quick. Right? Yeah, they don't want anybody digging into there and finding shit, finding the Clinton mafia shit, sick wackos and all the disgusting buddies and pedophiles and fuckheads of Epstein, because that would have just totally blew the top. That was the cap that could have blown the top off the two-party oligarchy. But those cameras weren't working inside those cells. It's not good enough evidence. It's just they threw it out. It's gone. And Epstein's lawyers have been taken care of and paid off, and they're not saying anything anymore. They've been threatened. Who fucking know, right? I'm just saying, and I hate to get this point. I'm going to end this pretty soon. Your vote does matter, and you have to believe it still does. Because if you believe that the vote doesn't matter, then we're done. That's all we have left is our vote. And we have to make sure it becomes paper ballots, and we have to make sure that they take these fucking delegates out of the equation, right? We have to make sure it's done correctly and unbiasedly, and take money out of politics. This is the process that we have to start taking, or it's going to get worse. So with that being known and said, I'm just telling you, Green Party, and I know I was getting to that. I'm going to post this for the Green Party. I'll just show you real quick. What the hell did I do with it? Crap. The list, I'm still not really done with it. I call it the Green Party rates, and I want some comments on that. I'm going to put it out on Twitter, and I'm going to put it in this comment section here, right? Here are the Green Party rates, right there, baby. Why did I put colon there? There we go. All right. You can probably add or delete something from there, but I really believe that's what the Green Party needs to be talking about, for sure, and absolutely. And if they don't, then they're missing the point. They're missing what needs to happen, and they're going to miss the bus, and they start too late all the time. I mean, for fuck's sakes, people. For fuck's sakes. I mean, whoever runs your campaigns, let me run your campaign. I'm going to be helping Chad, by the way, very soon. I'm going to get out on a call with him probably tomorrow because I want Steph to be there. No, it's going to be Friday because she's off Friday. Okay, so her and I are going to get with Chad, and we're going to start looking into ways of boosting him and the Green Party in his area. I'm also sending out a personal invite to the girl that handles the Green Party or the Mountain Party out here, right? Let me see if this is just a second. What the hell is her name? Mountain Party. Dennis Lambert? No, that's not who it is. Gail Rancher? Yeah, that's her. Let's all vote now. I think that's no, that's not. Oh God, Dave Schwab. No, she's not in here, which is really weird. Dennis, Daniel Lutz, Robert Edward Smith, Lambert, more Lambert, Schwab. Where is she? Mountain Party, West Virginia. I think that's it. Mountain Party of West Virginia. There it is. Not seeing much in there. Oh, is her in there? Is she in there? Okay. Anyway, listen, guys. I think it's April Pearson Keating. I think that's her. I know she's blonde and cute. Okay. It's not Debbie Scott. I know that. Margaret Bernard. All right. Well, anyway, so I posted that in there, the rights that the Green Party needs to be talking about. I also put it in my Facebook. I'm going to slam it on Twitter right now. But I think I got to do a screenshot of it. Damn it, because I can't put the whole thing in there. So damn it, Jim. And I'll put it up there anyway. But thank you all for being on. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for just being a part of the team. Right? It's very cool, very awesome for you to be here. 75%. Yeah, that'll work. The Green Party rights, it's all there. The right to fair politics, the right to full comprehensive universal health care with no copay, the right to a livable wage, $17 an hour. Fuck your 15. A right to free education, a right to peace, a right to free speech, a right to clean air, soil, water, etc., a right to free energy. This has to do a lot with the Green New Deal. A right to all LGBTQ, any of the discrimination laws, etc. The right to marijuana, 100%, and the right to fair representation and justice, including no more private prisons, okay? Because those fuckers are making way too much money from us. And I'm going to put that on Twitter, all right? So you can grab it, you can take it, you can use it, but I'm telling you, please stop talking about eco-socialism and shit, because nobody knows what the fuck that is. Let me see if I can get it. I'm just going to say it real quick. Because she posted something the other day on what she's doing. Okay, hold on. Just a second. It's coming. California passes public bank. California passes public banking. That's cool. Watch how that starts working for people. Watch how that starts working for people. New businesses, etc. That's going to make a difference. Trust me. That is going to make a difference. Where did you put this, Laura? Greenway Forward. David Keith Cobb. I had him on my show, by the way, a while back. Good kid. Nobody likes him. They're pissed off at him. Let's go to her website. There it is. Issues. She's saying it. Health care for all. Affordable housing. Debt-free education. Peace and justice for all. Healthy and sustainable planet. Living wage. True democracy. Public banking. Right? That's awesome. You know, there's a few more things that she say, but she should start. They They need to start saying it's a right. And this is where I lose my audience when I start talking about Green Party shit. But anyway, I'm going to get going. Take care, you guys. I'll be on soon. Props to everybody out there covering the 2020 race. Everybody try to get Tulsi to dump these private option, please. It's just not helping her. I'm still going to support Bernie. I am definitely going to help and try to support Darius Hunter and Chad, who both are running. I'm going to do what I can to help some others as well. Thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful evening. I'm going to play the song. And yeah, bless me, bless me. All right, aloha. Howdy.